right, welcome. Thanks for watching this. If you're watching this as a recording, stay tuned till the end. We got to talk about a promotion that we're doing just special for this presentation. We're going to have a top leader here at Mint Builder, Pete Olsen, who's been in the industry for a long time, knows how to sell. He knows how to operate a business, and especially in the niche of precious metals. He's been involved in it for decades. You're going to see, from and hear from his expertise. And if you're interested in the business, side of it, Mint Builder is all about promoting precious metals. We're all about getting, people to start saving again and saving in something tangible. When the dollar's, coming down and crashing, you need assets in your life. And, we all have to operate on some kind of capital, a little bit of cash flow. We have to pay, our expenses, but the excess should never be held into cash. The wealthy, the ultra wealthy, they don't do that. They don't sit on millions of dollars in their bank or, whatever percentage of the income. They're sitting on assets. And when you're talking about assets, Mint Builder here, we believe we operate with the best asset in the asset class, and that's precious metals. It's just a way that you can it's not like an asset like a house, if you want to call that. Some people call it an asset, some don't. But it's something you can liquidate it. Like you need to sell it because you need cash flow. If you're sitting on bullion, it's easy to liquidate bullion. People are always looking for it, and you can turn it back into cash if need be. So it's a really nice asset to have. It's not something that's backed by the full faith of pledge of our government. It's not that kind of an asset, like a treasury bond or something like that. This is something that is finite. You can only have so much of it, and it's going to continue to hold value no matter what. So that's what we're offering. And so that's the main part of our business. Now, on the other side of the business, we say, hey, we could be out marketing the business ourselves. So we could set aside, 10, 20, 30% of the budget, 40% of the budget for just marketing. But instead we say, what, why don't we lower that down to minimal and pay the extra money to people who are, on the same story front as us. They say, hey, I want to help my friends, my family. I want to help them to be able to save assets and protect themselves against the falling currency crisis that we're dealing with right now from the Federal Reserve. I want to be able to be a part of that. And hey, you know what? I'll make some extra money at the same time while I'm helping other people. So it's a win-win. And that's why we created the second side of the coin of Mint Builder, and that is an income flow. And there's no better person than Pete Olsen to talk to you about how to make that a reality. I know many of you within Mint Builder that are listening to this right now are, have always wanted to make an income, but just didn't know what to do with it. So you're just right now just a saving customer, which is fine, but you want to make more with it. Well, this is your opportunity today to be able to accomplish that. So, so stay tuned after the end. When Pete's all finished up talking, we're gonna take some questions, answer comments, and we'll answer those for you. And we're also gonna let you know what the promotion is for the next 24 hours, and we'll go from there. So without further ado, I'm gonna introduce not only the top leader here at Mint Builder, but a good friend of mine, someone I've known for a long, long time, Mr. Pete Olsen. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Matt, I appreciate it, man. What an introduction, and it's always fun to be able to speak about business building, and it's interesting. Business building, it isn't for everyone, but for the people that do want it, there's key factors, if you will, to be able to accomplish that over time. So a little bit about me, my background. I grew up in Maryland. I was nominated by President Reagan to attend the United States Naval Academy and graduated from Annapolis in 1993. And for that $350,000 education by the taxpayers, you owe 5 years as a naval officer. So that brought me out to San Diego, and I was weapons officer and deck division officer in charge of about 250 men and women in my command. And it was funny. While I was on board ship, it seemed like my mind was always more on being an entrepreneur than, managing my troops and so on and so forth. I mean, I managed my troops and did a good job on board ship, but I always had that thing in the back of my mind, like, why is my income limited? Why is this guy over here making the same amount as me? That didn't compute in my mind, right? You know, it's you're an ensign, you make this, you're a lieutenant, you make this, so on and so forth. So way back in 1994, I saw a little classified ad. And I'll say the company name. It's kind of funny. It's a company called Equinox. It was owned by Bill Gould. And in the ad, and that's not the way we did it way back in the day. I'm aging myself right now. 29 years ago, 27, 28. Anyway, that's the way we did it, man. We ran little classified ads. We didn't have this thing called the internet, right? We didn't have this thing. So we ran these little classified ads that said, work from home, big income, so on and so forth. So I went into this meeting, and little did I know, I mean, I didn't even know it was MLM, network marketing, right? And I met this lady named Sherry, and little did I know that night that I was meeting one of the greatest legends of all time by the name of Sherry Sharman. And he worked hand in hand with Bill Gould, and I'm still good friends with Sherry. Sherry's probably one of the top network marketers of all time, the greatest female network marketer of all time. And that started my MLM career. So what I would do is I was a naval officer today, as Jim Rohn said, I worked full-time on my job, but I worked part-time on my fortune. Remember Jim said that, right? And so I would be doing that. So we had Tuesday night meetings, and we had Thursday night meetings. And then back in that day, on Saturdays, you'd go in for another opportunity meeting. But because it was Saturday, you had a training afterwards for those that were serious, right? And so I did that for a few years, and got out from being a naval officer in 1999. And I just said to my wife, I said, listen, I'm ready to go full time in this. I don't want to work for anyone else anymore. So that was it. I said, I'm going full time, and we moved up to Montana, and I've been full time in network marketing since 99. And so started in 94, still doing it full time today. And I've been really fortunate. I mean, I've not only had Sherry Sharman is one of my mentors, the greatest network marketer of all time, Larry Thompson, is my mentor. The greatest, been in the industry 50 years, one of the founders of Herbalife. And of course, the great Ray Hickton, still to this day, is my mentor. Ray's probably the greatest teaching network marketer that there's ever been. So when I give you the stuff today, it's not me telling you this. I'm just the mouthpiece for the greats that taught me, right? So all I did was listen. They said jump, I said how high. They said run, I said how fast. You know, they said you should do this, this, and this. I didn't say, well, why? How come? No, I just did it. I just did it because if you want something financially in network marketing, and the person that's teaching you is already there, then you should listen like E.F. Hutton, right? You shouldn't say, well, I don't really like doing that. Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, that's your problem, right? They're telling you something, you should do that. So really kind of find that mentor of financially where you want to be. In other words, if you want to make $500,000 a year, you shouldn't be listening to the guy that's making 75. You should be listening to the guy that's making 500,000. He knows what they're doing. Okay, very, very, very important. So this is how to build a big downline in Mint Builder or any company in network marketing, right? So one of the first that you should write down, okay, and this is $1 million nugget right here. It's not the actual method that you choose to recruit, okay? It's the consistency at which you do it. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. It's not the method, it's how consistent are you with that method. Now, my mentor, Larry Thompson, back in 1983, was his first company. This is before Herbalife, and he was from Northern California, and they flew him down to West Texas in El Paso. he was just an old, young, or I should say, real young construction boy. Didn't know, he was wet behind the ears. And he had no idea. This is before the internet, he didn't have any of that stuff. What did he do to recruit? What was his method? His method was going to the busiest gas station in town. And he'd pull up to the pump and he'd park the car and he'd take that nozzle out and put it in the gas tank. And he'd sit there for 6 to 7 hours a day, 5 days a week. Now think about that. What did he do? Why there? Well, because he knew there were going to be people coming in to get gas. It was the busiest place in town. So when someone came up, he walked to him and said, "Hey, I'm Larry Thompson. I'm new to the area, but I'm growing a big business here. Wasn't sure if you're keeping your options open as far as making money. And if you are, I'd love to have you tonight. We're having a meeting tonight about the company." "Yeah, I'd love to." Anyway, he did that 5 to 6 nights a week. He found his first 3 multimillionaires that way. Okay. What's the moral of it? The moral of it is, what's the purpose of the story? It doesn't matter the method, it's the consistency at which you do it. If you're doing the business today, and then you don't touch the business for 9 days, and then you don't touch the business for 10 days after that, it's a hobby. It's not a business. Okay? It's a hobby. It's not a business. So it doesn't matter if you do what he does, or you put flyers on windshield at Walmart, or you use businessbuildertraffic.com, which is leads that I use, that they send them to your email, or you run Facebook ads, or you run Craigslist, or you parties. Okay? Or you're calling, you're calling and dialing the MLM leads with a 30-second pitch, right? You're calling warm market. It doesn't matter. What does matter is how often during the week you're doing it. And it doesn't matter. Now, this is really important. A lot of people say, "Well, I only have 15 minutes a day." Great. Make it the best 15 minutes of your day. Shut that door, tell the wife, tell the kids, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, whatever it is. But be consistent with it. I'd rather have the guy or gal that gives me 15 minutes a day, 5 or 6 nights a week, than the superstar that touches it once every 3 weeks. Because that person is vested in it with consistency. Okay? So don't ever let anyone tell you that, "Oh, you shouldn't," you get there's a lot of leaders in the industry that I coach that say, "Well, they're not doing it my way." I said, "You don't have a way, man. There is no one way. There is no one way." "Well, the company," I don't care what the company says. You do it the way that they feel most comfortable with, to make them the most consistent, to keep them the most active, to keep them in your downline, so they're still on auto ship 12 months from now. So they're still on auto ship 24 months from now. So they're growing, they're learning, it's self-development. That's the most important thing. So if someone came to me and said, "Hey, Pete, I love home parties. I kill them. I mean, I live, breathe, I dream about home parties. I mean, I'd do them all day long if I could." And you know what I'd say? "Let's go. I want you to home party your mid-builder self out. And I'll come in at the end and, the last couple of minutes and through Zoom and say hello to your prospects." So it doesn't matter. It's what you can be the most consistent with, what works best for you. Okay. And maybe you'll do a couple of them. I'll give you an example. I use businessbuildertraffic.com, which sends me leads every day, but I go on LinkedIn every day, and I prospect, right? I reach out to people and ask them, "Hey, Bob, I see you're from South Florida. That's awesome. I know we don't know one another, but I'm actually looking to build my business in South Florida. Would you be at all open to taking a look at what I'm doing? If not, no big deal." And I put that in a little private message. So maybe you combine a couple of different things, but be consistent with it, whatever you choose. Okay. Whatever you choose to do, stay with it. The only way you lose in network marketing is if you quit. That's it. And could you imagine? I mean, it boggles my mind. With our company, why would anyone ever quit? Why? You're not stacking yummy shakes. You're not stacking lotions and potions and pills and energy drinks and water filters like I had way back 27 years ago at Equinox. You know, I mean, you're stacking God's money. It helps everybody. That's why at night I sleep so well, because I know anyone that's in the downline, anyone in our company, my downline, anyone's downline, they're winning, even if they don't bring in one person, even if they don't bring in one customer, they're winning. Why? Because they're stacking appreciating assets. That's good for them and their family in the future. Not a yummy shake that's sitting in the garage that's worth zero 30 days later. Make sense? That's important, guys. I mean, how cool is that? So, if you think about it, a person can get wealthy a couple different ways in Mint Builder, not only stacking, but through the business. You can't say that in any, you can't get wealthy with yummy shakes, man. Just one way, not by the product. And I'm not, I got a lot of friends that are top money earners and yummy shake companies. And that's great, man. If they're passionate about it, that's fantastic. I never say, oh, but I'm just emphasizing the point that you guys really have a double-edged sword here. You got the best product in the world that speaks every language in every country in the world. And you have this amazing business opportunity to make residual income, when you sleep. Okay. So it's the method that you enjoy that matters the most. And how consistent are you with that method that you enjoy as far as gaining new prospects, new downline, gaining new customers. Okay. Very, very important. My day. How is my day constructed? Okay. Larry Thompson used to beat he'd be at the podium and used to beat that sucker with his fist. He said, you got to have a DMO, daily method of operation, daily method of operation. And there's 4 pillars to the daily method of operation. Okay. If you want to make the huge money, you have a 4-pillar DMO. Okay. If you don't want to make huge money, you don't do all 4 of these things. Okay. What is DMO? What is my daily method of operation? Number 1, self-improvement. 30 minutes every morning in my home office here. On YouTube, reading something new, as far as one of the other big leaders in the industry, one of their books, right? I'm listening to Eric Worre, Network Marketing Pro. I'm listening to Ray. I'm listening to Larry, Sherry, whatever it is. I'm listening even after 27 years. So I want to sharpen that sword. I want to keep sharpening that sword, because one idea can make you a lot of money. One idea. And one leader to the next, they may do something just with you may be doing what they're doing, but they have a slight tweak on it, right? Maybe saying something just a little bit differently. Maybe phrasing something a little bit differently. Maybe a technique that they're doing that's a little bit different. That you can say to yourself, you know what, man, I can apply that. I can apply that. But you only get that when you're doing self-development every day, 5 days a week, minimum. I don't care if you're making $1 million a month or you're making $1 a month, okay, or anywhere in between. Okay. If you want things to get better, you've got to get better. Jim Rohn. If you want things to change, you got to change. Jim Rohn. Okay. Don't wish that network marketing was easier. Wish that your skills were better. Don't wish for network marketing to be easier. Wish that your skills are better. it's important, guys, that you think about how can I get better every day? You're not competing with anyone. You're just competing with yourself. Am I better today than I was yesterday? Was I better yesterday than I was last week? Was I better last week than I was the week before that? Am I better this month than I was last month? And stop trying to say, oh my God, I'm so frustrated. This is incredible. Why is he making this or she making that or he's doing this? It doesn't matter. All it matters is that you start doing these little things that are changing you, making you better day after day after day, week after week after week. And then you look back after 6 months, you look back after a year and say, my gosh, wow, I know a lot more than I did 6 months ago. Network marketing is, as much as a lot of people like to think, this is not some get rich BS stuff. This is one of the purest businesses you can ever have. This is the greatest self-development industry in the world. I learned more, and I cherish my Naval Academy education, which is one of the best undergrad institutions in the world. My time, network marketing, and my mentorship with Bill Gould and Sherry Sharman and Ray Higdon and Larry Olsen, I value that information way more than my calculus 3, my thermodynamics, my electrical engineering, my mechanical engineering, my heat transfer. What did that do for me? I didn't become an engineer, but I learned through them people skills, life skills, selling skills. Okay. As Larry Thompson always used to say, always, phrasing things in the best light. How to train people, how to build people. Okay. Self-improvement, 5 days a week, 30 minutes a day. You can get the books on tape. You can just get a book. You can go to YouTube. You can read blogs from the other network marketers that are leaders out there. There's so many good ones. Okay. It's so important. Okay. And you've got to remember, if you want things to change, you personally have to change. You can't have a $50 skill set and expect to make $10,000 a month. Okay, you can't put in microwave efforts and expect crock pot results. Are you guys hearing me? Mm-hmm. You can't put in microwave efforts and expect crock pot results. Okay, you've got to develop over time. How anyone ever came up with network marketing, MLM is get rich quick is obviously they don't know network marketing. I'm not saying someone can't take off. I'm just saying I always call it get rich slow. This is a build it up long-term business in a box that has the best training in the world that will not only make you better in your business and build something for yourself, but it makes you better in life because it gives you so many skills to use in other areas. Okay. Second part of everyday recruiting. Recruiting. People don't like to use that word. What we do? We're obviously, as a company, more focused on customers, which is a wonderful thing. But we have this opportunity, as Matt said, to build a business as well, on top of our amazing customers, right? I go for 10 no's a day. 10 no's a day before I leave this office. I love hearing no's. Get the book called Go for No. It will change your psychology on hearing no's. So when I bring someone on, and obviously it doesn't always work because everyone's different. I just had someone just recently said, spent a month doing this, nothing worked. I said, my God, man, I've been spending 27 years in here no 10 times a day. They're not understanding the psychology. This is not meant for everybody, guys. Right? We weren't meant to be everywhere. We were meant to be somewhere. Okay. So celebrate the no. See the difference versus the average network marketer. Oh, Johnny's coming to the meeting. Oh, he didn't show up. Johnny said he'd look at my opportunity. Oh, he was too busy. Johnny said, it doesn't matter. I don't want you to be like this. I want you to be a sea glass. It doesn't matter. And when someone leaves the downline, I just ask, hey, is there anything I can help you deal with? Oh, this don't work. And I use Jim Rohn's old words that he always used to say when someone used to leave the organization for whatever reason. Isn't that interesting? That's all they say to him. Isn't that interesting? I'm not saying, Bob, but why? Why, Bob? Why aren't you staying? Why aren't you staying, Bob? Don't you know my kids got to go to college? No. I like Bob, but that's his choice. Doesn't upset me in the least. Why? Because I have so much in the funnel, it doesn't matter. I want to work with those that want to be here. I want to, help those just want to be on ownership or just, make a little bit of money or be more serious or, hey, Pete, I want to make huge money. That's what I want to spend my time with. No hard feelings against you, Bob. If there's anything I can ever do for you in the future, let me know. And so just on a side note, don't say you SOB. No. Bob has his reasons. There's timing. Well, I'm not mentally ready for this. We're not mentally ready for all the no's and all the things that it takes, the consistency to do network marketing. He may be ready again in a year and may call me if I don't curse him out. Just wish him well. If there's anything I can do for you, anything I can help you with now. Okay. But don't when you're prospecting so many people, right? And you're putting so many people through your marketing funnel, 1, 2, 10 people don't matter because you have so many prospects looking at the business. And I always feel if I'm not reaching out to people, I'm doing them a disservice. Like, how greedy of me just to keep Mint Builder all to myself, right? So don't get hung up, but 10 no's a day. That's what I do. Again, whether you're going out and pounding the pavement or you're using businessbuildertraffic.com or you're on LinkedIn or you're using the leads in the back office or you're doing Craigslist ads, you're doing Facebook ads, you're calling MLMers, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. 10 no's a day. Okay, recruiting. Number 3, marketing. I do a piece of marketing every day. Guys, this is free. This is free. I don't even have to place a tiny classified ad like I did in 1994. That's how we get everyone. We had our desk in our office in San Diego, right? And sit at the desk. And so let me tell you how good you have it. So in 1994, when I was with Equinox, I paid $500 a month just for desk rent in San Diego, California. Desk rent. And then on top of that, we ran these tiny little classified ads in the San Diego Tribune when we weren't cheap. It's 1994, dude. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Right? And so someone would call, and again, I told you before, and the whole goal was to get them into either Tuesday night meeting. If you got them Tuesday night meeting, the goal is to have them come back on Thursday with a friend. Right? Don't come alone. And then get them from Thursday, Saturday. That's how we did it, man. Now you can be in your pajamas. Everyone, I always laugh when someone says, Pete, network marketing is so hard. Compared to what, dude? So hard? Were you paying $500 a month desk rent? Did you have to go to the mall to recruit? No. It's not hard. This is a joke today. It's a joke. Why is it a joke? Because I can literally be on my laptop, in my pajamas, in my bed, and recruit someone in Paris, France. We're in Paris, right, Matt? We're in France, I think, right? That's one of the countries in Europe. We're in 42 countries, approximately, something like that. How? Right on LinkedIn. Hey, hey, Sally, I see you're from the UK. That's awesome. I know we don't know one another, but we're actually looking to expand our business in the UK. Do you be it all open, take a look at what I'm doing? If not, no big deal. Sure, I would. I can recruit someone in the UK as easily as I can my next door neighbor today. This thing called the internet. Guys, it's ridiculous. It's free. TikTok. So when I say a piece of marketing, LinkedIn, and that I just described prospecting, which we'll talk about next. But when I say marketing, meaning a video on TikTok, a Facebook Live, a YouTube Live, a video on YouTube, a blog post. You don't even have to write your blog posts anymore. There's this thing called AI. It does it for you. So marketing is something that you put something out there into the ether, okay? And you're hoping that somebody sees it, sees your link for your Mint Builder marketing funnel, goes through that, and you got a lead. But you're putting out quality content in the hope of someone starts watching you. Maybe it takes them to watch 10 videos before they say something, right? But you're just putting something out there. I mean, what could you do? I mean, I do stuff all the time on YouTube and on TikTok, et cetera, et cetera. I'll sometimes use a Tony Robbins motivational 30-second clip. And I'll put it in the type, I'll download that, and I'll put it at the top. Are you ready? Are you ready to work from home? Question mark. www.mintbuilder.com/777-777. I mean, my God. And then, 400 views later, 5,000 views later. These are views you'd never have that someone actually knows about your business. Maybe one of those people will join 4 months from now. You don't know, but it's free. So again, it could be a blog, it could be a TikTok video, a post on Instagram, post on Facebook, whatever. But try to, when you're doing marketing, use a promotional piece, but try to tell stories. Try to tell stories. Hey, big shout out to my buddy Bob. Bob just brought just got another huge load of physical silver and gold to protect himself and his family from future inflation. Way to go, Bob. Really proud of you. And people read that and say, what's going on? Well, maybe should I get some, honey? Should we get some silver? Right? So you want to build that. You don't want to always be like, this is Mint Builder. You need to join. You'll make $1 gazillion. No, that's not what people want to hear. They want to hear stories. Okay, you get a million stories, right? Just ask in the Telegram group, anyone have a good story? And just share it. Okay, you see it all the time on Facebook with a lot of the ladies love to do the weight loss stories. This is my friend Jan. She just lost 47 pounds. She's never been happier about herself and the direction of her life. Way to go, Jan. Proud of you. People are like, what is she using? Because I got 12 pounds I want to lose. Right? Tell stories. Mint Builder puts out every Monday and Thursday just different, emails to us from corporate about piece of silver, about a different topic in the marketplace. You can actually use that, get a Mint Builder picture, put it on Instagram, put that story in there, put some keywords down in the comments. Maybe your link, you can put your link up there if you want under the story. And now people are going to be reading this great information that Mint Builder puts out. It's not hard. It's not hard. Okay. So many different ways, but that's marketing. And the opposite of that, guys, the opposite of that is prospecting. That's where I told you on LinkedIn, where I go out every day and I reach out to somebody. I connect with them first, connect. And you can type in whatever keywords you want into LinkedIn, MLM, work from home, online income, network marketing, silver and gold, whatever. You get hundreds of thousands of leads, right? They'll pop right up. and I just connect with 30, 40 of them. Once I see they've accepted my connection request, then I give them that one paragraph that I told you guys about a couple times already. And you'll get people taking a look at your opportunity. It doesn't matter if they say yes or no. It's about numbers. The amount of people you're sending through your marketing funnel. The more people, now listen to this, the more people you have going through that marketing funnel, the bigger your income will be. If Matt put 1,500 people a week through the marketing funnel and I put 15, who do you think is going to have a better chance of having more people at the end of the week? Matt, right? It's very, very simple. Okay, and you can target anyone you want. Okay, on LinkedIn, you can target. If you're a nurse, maybe you want to recruit other nurses. Type in nurses. You want to recruit a certain area, nurses in Ohio. Okay, you want to build local, construction workers in Bangor, Maine, whatever. Okay, whatever. And the last thing I do every day is follow up. If you are not following up, you are working way too hard. Okay, if you're not following up, you're working way too hard. Listen, guys, these people aren't just going to magically jump into your business. That's not the way it works. Oh, I'm going to jump in. I've always wanted a silver and gold business. I'm going to jump in. Pete won't even know. No, I got to follow up. So not only do I follow up after they watch the video, if I can't reach them, then I do a 4-day follow-up. Then I'll put them on my list for a 30-day follow-up, then a 60-day follow-up, then a 90-day follow-up, and a 6-month follow-up. After 6 months, I'll let them go. But typically, I'll follow up with them until unless they're rude or they die. But you got to follow up. I'll just give you an example. My 4-day follow-up is, hey, Bob, it's Pete. Wanted to apologize for not following up with you sooner. Been super busy, period. How are you? I don't say, why the hell did you not get back to me after watching that magnificent video on Mint Builder? Are you rude? No. I just want to resurrect the dead. I just want to spark a conversation. And then he might say, oh, I'm good. How are you? Oh, I'm doing great, Bob. Hey, listen, I was just following up. Just wanted to see if you've had the chance to watch the video yet. Oh, no, I haven't, Pete. Oh, no worries, man. No worries. Hey, listen, when's a good time that you can definitely watch it? And then just start that cycle again, right? Hey, I'm so sorry. My daughter had a softball game. They made the championship or whatever. It doesn't matter the reason, okay? But you resurrected that, okay? Now, you don't want to keep, now, if they do that a couple times, you're not like, why, Bob? Why didn't you watch my video? That's when you want to start giving some posture and say, hey, listen, Bob, I appreciate it. I know we're all busy, but listen, hey, I know you don't mind. I really got to spend the time with the people that are really serious that want to take a look at Mint Builder. So I may be able to get back to you in 2 or 3 weeks, but I can't promise anything. You understand, right? Right? I'm not begging them, I'm posturing. But you got to follow up. Follow up. And last but not least, guys, listen. When I started out in this business, every mentor I had, Sherry, Larry, at one point in time, wanted to kill me. What do I mean by that? Because I was in their hip pocket all freaking day. I was that mosquito or gnat that just never went away, and they're like, who is this? Who is this dude, man? This he's a pain in the ass, but he's hungry. He's hungry. If you want it bad enough, you'll find a mentor that you want to be in the hip pocket of. If your upline is not helping you, that's not his fault. Don't complain, he's not helping me. Well, tough. You know what? It's your fault. Go find somebody else. There's no rule you can't jump around, but there's no rule that says, hey, I'm going to go follow and get in the hip pocket of my sponsor. Believe me, your sponsor won't mind when you start recruiting a lot of people, will he? Maybe that'll bring him alive. But don't think that your sponsor is the only one you can go to. Reach out. If you want it bad enough, if you're hungry enough, you'll find that guy or gal that you want to mentor you, that you want to be able to reach out to and say, hey, listen, how would you do this? Or why do you do that? Or what would be the best way that you'd handle this? And then a good mentor would say, how do you think you should handle it? Where do you think you would find that in your back office? So there's always three things that I tell my recruits when they're new and they ask me a question. I said, I'm gonna give you one of three answers. That question is an admin answer that goes to support@mintbuilder.com, or I'm gonna say that answer's in your back office. You should probably look in this section here, right? Go find it. Or that's a real in-depth question. That's good. Let's talk about it, right? Because my goal is not to have 5,000 people that are dependent upon me like a baby bird. My goal is to make you fly and duplicate. Okay. That's a lot of info. I guys enjoyed that. Guys, I'm telling you, that's $1 million worth of information there. That if you just take a small ounce of that, your business is going to skyrocket. Okay. And I'm open up for questions, Matt, if we want to do question and answer.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone has any questions, just you can raise your hand. I can unmute you, or you can just type it in the chat. Either way, we'll go ahead and get those taken care of for you. But I like that, the whole mentor thing. Something I've learned over the years is too that a mentor doesn't have to be somebody that you talk to on the phone or Zoom with or meet in person. It could be someone that you read their book, or someone you follow online, or a podcast person. It could be that kind of a thing too. As far as learning goes. Allison put on, she goes, Pete, what made you make the switch from lotions and potions to precious metals?
It was funny because the way it started was, and this is an interesting story. So I got into metals in about 2000, end of 2007, beginning of 2008, when the crash happened. You guys remember some of you may remember the 08 crash. It was tough, man. It was tough. And we had a lot of different things going on, some fraudulent stuff, bad investments, people stole, and people losing their jobs everywhere, everything shut down. And a particular company I was with went out of business. And I'm like, what now? And I came across this gentleman named David, and he was with a silver and gold network marketing company. And he was one of the leaders in the company. I went to my wife, I said, silver and gold. And I said, I'm going to think about that. And she said, okay. And that Christmas, for one of my presents, my wife got me with some bullion. Christmas of 08, silver bullion. And I looked at her and she looked at me and I said, I'm going forth with it. Let's go. And that's all I needed. I was just fascinated by, I actually have a product that can make me money, but how amazing the silver and gold products were, the designs, the all the different grading of the graded products, and the history behind them, and how much over time they've appreciated, how it defeats inflation, which is what we weren't experiencing that like we are now in 2023. 08 wasn't, it was terrible, but we weren't dealing with the inflation aspect of things because they've just been printing money. So it absolutely captured me. It fascinated me. And I said, this makes sense. This makes sense. And what's funny is today it makes sense 1,000,000 times more than it does in 2008. Because every time I go to the darn grocery store, my milk, instead of being $2.99, is now $3.19 and $3.47 and $3.99. Everything goes up. Everything you buy goes up. People can't even afford a shanty in the town I live in. A little shanty's going for 600,000. So that's why, and that mentality of understanding that this is the only true money, the understanding that fiat money is worthless. It's just printed. The only backing fiat money has is the belief from the consumer in America that it's worth something. And guess what's happening every day with that belief? Right? Devalues, and that's why inflation goes through the roof, because they do something called quantitative easing, where they print trillions of dollars and give hundreds of billions of dollars away to foreign nations, and they just keep doing this and doing this. And the people aren't as stupid anymore. We've actually we're not as asleep as we were. Believe it or not, we're still asleep, but we're really so that the whole thing fascinated me. It really did. And that's why I made the switch. Best decision I ever made. It really is. And I think that we could literally be in the perfect spot at the perfect time in history. As far as if you could pick one company in one industry at one time, we're in it right now. Because it could come to a point where literally, Matt and I've talked about this, where fish just jump in the boat because they've been laid off their jobs, the whole market collapsed. What are they going to do? And it's very possible, in my opinion, that the currency, once it blows up, will go back to be backed by physical silver and gold. But regardless if that happens or doesn't happen, I just know my money has been money for 5,000 years, and it's going to be money 5,000 years from today because it's God's money. And you can't print it. You can't do anything to it. That's why the federal government hates it so much, right?
Yeah.
So I feel very blessed to have Mint Builder as a company and to have physical silver and gold as my product for all those reasons and more.
Yeah, that's awesome. Actually, Tinsley's on here now. She actually just sent out Thursday Thoughts yesterday. It was talking about Texas, and May 2nd of this year, they passed a bill, and now it's got to go on to a lot more things, but the Texas might potentially start having their own currency as gold-backed currency for the state of Texas,
Yes.
Which would be pretty cool. I think may fall
And
soon.
Utah had some legislation there too, Matt. I think Utah did as well, and you're gonna see more of that because this just can't be sustained.
Yeah,
but
currency was
that
stable for a long time until that happened, until that changed.
Yeah, I mean, there's 8 million lotions and potions, and I don't need a doctor to tell me that it works and all that stuff. I can go to any country in the world and have a piece of gold in my hand, a piece of silver, and that's going to talk for me.
Yeah,
anywhere. I could go to Syria. I'm not going to Syria, but I could go to Syria, and that's going to talk. I can get things done. People understand the language of physical silver and gold. In fact, people in other countries understand it way more than we do. It's much more prevalent in other countries. And India is a great example. We're not in India, but that's just an example. Mm-hmm. They worship physical silver because they understand the importance of it. And they understand that currency is just fiat, that every fiat currency in the history of the world has gone to zero. Yeah. We're well on our way, but it's just fascinating. Yeah, fascinating stuff.
Anybody else have any other questions? If not, we're gonna jump into, I'm gonna talk about the promotion for here. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it now, and anyone has questions, go ahead and put it in here. Let me just put my screen share on. We have a promotion in honor of Pete being on here today. This is Pete's promotion. Let's go back here. All right. Hold on 1 second. That's not the promotion. Let me just go back to that really fast. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Okay. So this is the promotion for the next 24 hours. Those of you who probably have been noticing over the last, this whole year almost, American Silver Eagles have been like $14, $15, $16 over the current spot price. There was a lot of people selling, ungraded Silver Eagles for over $40 per coin. And anyway, so we have the best prices here at Mint Builder, obviously, but this is a very, very special deal where you can buy one or 1,000, whatever, anything in between, or whatever you want there. Monster box is 500, and it's only $3.99 over spot. So that's a huge deal. It's only going to be good for 24 hours. So this is going till, I'll keep it open until 1 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow to be able to get Silver Eagles at $3.99 over spot. So you're talking just a few months ago, just a generic round was more than $3.99 over spot. And obviously, a lot of people like to have the governmented coins, especially the Silver Eagles, because it's easier for them to if you want to sell it later. There's more people that are willing to receive an American Silver Eagle than anything else in the world, and it's the most popular governmented piece of silver. So anyway, that is 0.999% pure silver, and you're gonna be able to get it for the next 24 hours for $3.99 over spot. Unheard of. I don't even know in the last year I was able to see silver eagles for that low of a premium. So it's all available right now. So if there's any other,
the spot price is, so I'm looking at it now, $22.72.
it's a dip right now.
It's like a blessing on top of a blessing.
Yeah,
Matt and I just talked about this. I mean, guys, when silver goes down like this is when you really back up the truck it in, and then you get a special deal like this and you double it up. I mean, we were just at $30 on silver not too long ago with premiums $14 plus on Eagles. This is insane. This is just more time for us to continue to stack before silver eventually does pop and goes to $50 an ounce. Take advantage. Low 20s, guys. It's stealing. It's absolutely stealing.
You got a few Silver Eagles yourself. A few pieces of silver yourself, I know. So so
Yep.
that's awesome. Yep. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys being on here, and those of you watching this recording, make sure to take advantage of it. Time is ticking on that. Although our premiums have come down and everything is a great bargain right now, this is an exceptional one. So thank you, Pete, for being on here. We're glad to have you on as always, and I'm sure we'll have you
anytime
talking again here soon. I really do appreciate your knowledge of almost 3 decades being in the business. So thank you so much, and you guys all take care. Have a good rest of your day and good weekend. All right, bye for now.